All right, everybody, strap in to your aeroplanes. I'm going to be building a pilot's watch today. This is going to look absolutely just naughty. Look at this case. It is just so cool. It's like this cushion style sort of, it's got a really nice weight to it. Absolutely solid. Not sure what's on the back there. Not a lot actually, not a lot. But it looks as though it's got like these sort of, it's got these kind of holes, these industrial looking sort of holes, almost where screws would go, but probably more for like where a case removal tool would be for, but we've got a deflated ball as always. But yeah, this is gonna look absolutely stunning. The next thing to take a look at is the dial, and the dial really is what makes it. This is a vintage inspired, pilot's watch inspired dial. Let me put on my finger, you know the word. The cots. I'm old enough to not have to say finger condom in every video, but I'm tempted to. Okay, here we go. Right, we're ready. Let's take a look at the dial. Oh my lord. Right, the only thing that's a little bit dodgy is that there is the military signal thing on there, which was what was actually on watches that were military issue, but this is obviously not. But there's no logos on there. It's just that. Absolutely gorgeous. There's the big bold sort of text font on the numbers, and it's a pilot's watch. I'm not exactly sure what in the style makes it look like a pilot's watch. Maybe it's just the legibility of all of the numbers and stuff. But yeah, and then it's got a sort of a faux patina on the loom that goes around the outside. And then to go with this beautiful, beautiful dial is matching hands. These are a faux patina, and I love saying that because they're two words you don't get to say often. So when you do, make the most of it. These are awesome. These are absolutely awesome. Look at those. So again, big sort of just, there's no pizzazz to them. You know, they're just straight hands with the yellow loom on the inside to sort of show the age of them. And yeah, that's just awesome. I think it's the simplicity of this watch that is going to make it look absolutely incredible. Without any further ado, here's the movement. Let's get on with it. So in the last video, I showed you a few of my new tool upgrades, and one of them is this little movement holder here, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're gonna utilize that and stick that into there like so. Now, what we're gonna need to do on this dial is remove some of the feet, because there's actually a few too many. So let's work out which ones need to come out. So it's the center one that we want to keep on that side, and it's the center one we want to keep on the bottom. Now, someone actually told me that instead of snipping these and sanding it down, you can just sort of snap them off. So let's just bend all the ones that we're not going to need. Oh, I'm now worried that I've done the wrong ones. Bend. Okay, so let's give them a wiggle and just see if they snap off. Right, whoever told me that was lying. That has left more of a little stub than the last method. So, not going to listen to that comment. Okay, they are all removed, all of the little incorrect dial feet. So let's now sit the dial down like so. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Where did I just put that thing? There we go. Look at that. Okay, now the great thing about this is it hasn't got a hole for the date. The only issue is I've probably ordered the wrong movement because it does actually have a date on this movement, but it just means that I'm going to have to just have an irrelevant sort of step in the crown, which isn't the end of the world, but I'm sure it's possible to buy ones that don't have the additional date complication on them. So let's go ahead and take out the hands. Now, the thing that I showed in the previous video where I was showing the new tools that I bought, which I'll link below in case you want to check that out, is this, which is Rodico, which is this fantastic blue tack innovation that allows us to pick things up, and it doesn't leave a stain and it doesn't scratch, obviously, because previously what I was doing was using tweezers, and sometimes I would scratch the hands and then I'd have to order multiple hands to avoid that. So it's quite nice to just pick something up, set it down, get a hand pusher perfectly aligned, and then use the hand pusher to push the hand down into place. It's a brilliant thing. There we go. Look at that. Our hand is on, just like that. Okay, so let's go on with the minute hand. Now again, it doesn't really matter about the alignment of this because there's no date, but I am going to do it for good practice. Let's put it on. Oh, actually, it does matter. It does matter. Of course it matters. You need to make sure that everything's aligned for when it hits 12 o'clock. I'm just being stupid. Luckily, I did actually do that, so that's absolutely perfect. But yeah, don't listen to me. You definitely want that to be aligned. Right, pretty happy with this so far. Right, the final one to go is the second hand, which is by far the scariest one. So take your time with this, be very, very careful, and let's get this on. Here we go. It's going. There we go. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so what we're gonna do is take out the crown and stem so we can flip it over like this. And I've sort of learnt to do this one-handed so that I'm not setting it down. And I know that I have a case holder, a movement holder now, but the dial would be still resting on the inside rim of this, and I don't want to use that. So I'm not sure if there's a better way to do this, but I've sort of managed to perfect it a little bit now. So quite happy with that. Right. Let's set this down into the case. This is by far the most satisfying part of any watch build because this is where you get to see what it's going to look like, which is just so exciting. I cannot tell you, when you're building a custom watch and it starts coming together, it is unbelievably satisfying. Okay, so here we go. Let's blow the dust out of this and make sure that it's all clear of all the dust. And actually, that is too big. That is too big for that case. Okay, but do not fear, I have two more options. Let's take a look at which one we prefer. So there's this very flat brushed steel one. It's really, really thick, but it's very flat. That one is pretty awesome. No logos, no writing, no text. It's just a big wedge. And then there's this one, which has a little bit more sort of a design to it, the curve and stuff, which I think is probably a little bit more vintage looking. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna go for the more age appropriate one. I think that I'm gonna save this for a more modern looking watch. I just think that has more potential with like a modern looking sort of style and aesthetic. So let's go ahead and case it up into this more vintage one, which I think is just more appropriate. So let's go ahead and give everything one last little blow and dust off and set it down into the case. Yeah, that definitely looks right. That definitely looks right. Okay, so we can now sort out the crown and stem. So inside the box for the movement in the top little protector is the stem, and we can just take it out like that. And then we can unscrew the crown from the case, like so. And then what we're going to do is work out exactly how much we need to remove by pushing the stem all the way in, making sure that it's thoroughly down. Coincidentally, as I'm doing this, there's a plane flying over my head. If you give me a sec, mate, I've got you a watch. Circle round. So with the crown then screwed all the way down onto the stem, we're going to take our set of vernier calipers and measure the inside diameter between the base of the stem and the case, because the crown and stem is pushed all the way in. So at this point, we would want to be mimicking screwing the crown all the way down onto the case. So let's go ahead and take that measurement. There we go. And then we can give it a little file just to make sure it's all nice and smooth. And then we can screw the crown down onto the stem. So with the stem cut and the crown screwed back on, let's go ahead and push it all the way in and see if I've removed enough, too little. Remember as well, it's got to screw all the way down and be flush. Oh, that looks good. That's all the way down. So now what we need to do is put Loctite on the thread so that this doesn't come off. So let me go and grab some of that. So there's a little bit of Loctite on the end there. So now let me screw down the crown. There we go. Get a nice grip again with the tweezers to really make sure that it's down all the way. There we go. And then if we just wipe off the excess Loctite, you obviously do not want that going into the watch at all. And here we go. We are nearly there, which is just so exciting. This is where things really pick up and become super duper exciting. There we go. So that is the stem all sorted. Again, let's just make sure that that screws all the way down, which it does. Now, before we close it up, we're going to need to take out the gasket from the inside of the case back and give it a good grease so that this thing is nice and waterproof. I mean, I wouldn't trust it just because it's from China. It's an AliExpress watch that I've built myself, but this will give it a fighting chance in case there's any run-in with some water. So where's it gone? Oh, it's fallen out. Let's put that back in. There we go. And then this goes on the inside of the case back. There we go. Okay. Now let's give everything one final little blow, and then we can screw down the case back. Now, I didn't put anything on the rotor on this watch. Usually I put something on, but as I was expecting to use this case, which doesn't have an exhibition case back, there's nothing on the rotor, but that's fine. Sometimes less is more, and also we're not going to be seeing the case back anyway because it's got a NATO strap, which is going to go over that. So let's screw this down nice and tight. The little stickers come off, that's fine. All the way. Okay, and we'll give it a little wipe now. And then the final thing we've got to do is choose what color NATO strap we want. I bought two different options. I bought a gray one and I bought a green one. Obviously, green, both gray and green, very sort of military colors. But in my head, the green one is going to be the winner because it's just going to offset against that patina loom color. So let's take a look at this one and see what it looks like. Oh, Oh, I don't know. Let's take a look at the grey as well. The nice thing about these is obviously they're very interchangeable. And I've just noticed as well that the little bars on the strap are a brush finish, which matches everything on here. It wouldn't be very common for a military issue watch to have much chrome because it's more of a, you know, a military thing for something to not be super reflective and shiny. I guess that's probably to keep someone be more hidden. Right, well, that is a real tough decision. I think it's going to be the green. The green is the one that I kind of envisioned. So let's just have a look with the green on. Oh yeah, it's definitely got to be the green. Look at that. Oh wow. I'm speechless. Look at that. Oh man, that is just awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Right, let's take this blingy thing off and let's put something very, very understated on. I'm gonna unzoom the camera. Okay, here we go. Let's set this down. Oh man, look at that. Oh, that is so neat. So then the goes up there like that, and then you sort of fold it back down on itself and tuck it through. Oh, man, does that look good. Two completely different watches, both so cool. This is why building watches is so sick. This is literally like $50 or $60 worth of stuff. I mean, very, very inexpensive. It's just so much fun. It's just so much fun. It is not going to get old for me. I absolutely love that. What a beautiful, understated little watch to be wearing. Quite summery as well. And if you want, you can just swap out the NATO straps and put different ones on. But that is just awesome. That is a homage to a pilot's watch. I hope you have all enjoyed. What a beautiful, beautiful watch. And you know what? I think that actually works better than this case because it's a little bit skinnier, it's a little bit slimmer, and it looks a little bit smaller and just more military. I am so pleased with that. I hope you've all enjoyed this video. All the links will be in the description below. I'll catch you very soon. Goodbye.